Howdy there, folks. A couple days ago, I saw Battleship, and I guess I had an okay time. I will give it a 5, I think, is fair. In the long run, I just kind of wished one of two things. First being, I wished that I had taken, a bottle of whiskey into the movie. I've done that before. I mean, not like a huge bottle, but, what do they call it, a fifth? A little pint. Take a little pint of whiskey into the movie, drink it. That'll make any movie better. I kind of wish I had done that here, or had waited until, I could watch it at home with all of my vices next to me. I think it would have enhanced the experience and made it more enjoyable. But still, it was an okay time in the theater. I only saw it because it was there and available to me, and couldn't beat the price of free, and whatever. I just had nothing to do, I guess, so I saw Battleship. Well, there were a couple things, factors. One, I didn't know Liam Neeson was in the movie at all until maybe 2 weeks or so before the movie came out, and I consider myself a Liam Neeson fan. So I was like, okay, well, Liam Neeson's in it. It can't be too terrible. Liam Neeson's only in it for, minutes. He's barely in the movie. And he's definitely Liam Neeson when he does it, but he's only in there a couple minutes. So that, and I had a friend tell me that it wasn't terrible, that it was fun. And then I had yet another friend who said that all she could remember about the movie was Brooklyn Decker's boobs. And so then I started thinking, well, we have, a movie that's not so terrible. It's pretty fun if you don't think about it too much. Plus, you've got boobs, apparently all throughout. Well, first off, Brooklyn Decker's boobs are barely in this movie, which was very disappointing to me. I don't see how you can watch this film and the only thing you remember are her boobs, because they are not in it nearly enough. In fact, I can only remember one scene of some good Brooklyn Decker. So I don't see how this friend is, how could they be jealous of that? It doesn't even make sense to me. Battleship is about we humans discovering an Earth-like planet and sending a radio signal to it, I guess in 2005. So we send this super signal to it, and 7 years later, we get a reply in the form of an alien invasion. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. 5 big alien ships invade the Earth. Like, I think 1 or 2 go down while landing. But anyway, they take up positions in the ocean amidst a already ongoing Navy war game, I guess against the Japanese. So they're like prepared, but then the aliens like put up a force field over Hawaii, which traps some of the fleet outside and some of the fleet inside. Nothing can penetrate it. They can't, even radio waves, whatever, there's no communication. No one tries to like go under it. We don't know if they can send a submarine under the force field. I guess probably not. But they never try that anyway. So they basically, then something else happens. What was it? Oh, they had these buoys. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Aliens invade Earth, and they land in the ocean, and the Navy's got to stop them. This is from Hasbro Studios, you know, the toy company. It's kind of the same line of thought I have with the Transformer films. Like, if you are sitting there and watching a film, and one of the credits at the beginning of the film says, based on, you know, the Hasbro board game, it's kind of like seeing at the beginning of Transformers, based on the, you know, I can't remember the toy line. Was it Hasbro as well? Just for this instance, I'll say Hasbro. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. Based on the Hasbro toy line. If you continue to sit in the theater and participate and watch this film after knowing that the film is based on an inanimate object that you bring to life in your imagination, that this film is competing with your imagination and nothing else, you really can't complain about it. If you submit at that point, then you have no right to bitch. Because you know that if you get up and say, oh, well, I mean, I can go home and hold Optimus Prime and Megatron in my hands and most likely create a story and battle in my head that will match anything I see on a movie screen. You know, or if you have a board game and you have a buddy and you're playing Battleship and you go through the time of imagining this epic naval battle between your friend, you know, that most likely is going to be better than this movie, then, you know, you just can't complain. If you get up at that point, then it's fine. You can complain all you want. What? This movie is based on an inanimate object? Then you have the right to complain. But if you sit there and say, okay, my imagination could do this 1,000 times better, but I am submitting. I am here to see what your imagination can do. Then you really have no right to complain. And so I follow that. I really don't have the right to complain because it's just aliens invading and blowing the shit from each other. The movie stars, it's got plenty of people. And that's what's endearing about it. I would call this my Memorial Day movie. And I thought it was appropriate that I saw it on Memorial Day because it paid homage to our armed services and to the veterans of the armed services. So, I mean, it really was heartfelt in that manner. And any cynicism that I had that was rising in me was totally, you know, quelched by, you know, needing to honor these men who have given their lives you know, for the protection of the country and what have you. It seems like there's only about, you know, 3 or 4 actors in the movie, and the rest of the cast is filled out with models and singers and real people, real servicemen, which again is endearing. You know, I appreciate seeing those old men, current soldiers, what have you, getting to be in a big movie. You know, you can tell that they're excited that this is, you know, a huge, you know, deal to them. And that comes across. And again, it's very endearing. But they aren't actors. You know, they aren't actors. And it it got a little annoying after a while. But let me tell you this right now. The soldiers, the old retired veterans, they did a fine job. You want to talk about bad acting? Let's talk about Brooklyn Decker. Why you get models to be actresses, I have no idea. You know, when models start moving their mouths, something goes away. They just, I don't know. Brooklyn Decker nearly sank this battleship. That's a terrible pun, but she's awful in this movie. Her eyes are totally dead. I just had to laugh at her stuff because she has nothing. There was nothing there behind her eyes. And it really just made me mad. I was like, I didn't care for Rihanna too much either. I didn't understand why Rihanna was in the movie. I didn't understand why they cast it with these non-actors. That's what they should have done. Like, get some awesome actors. Get Liam Neeson caliber actors. And then surround them with veterans. And people who aren't actors, but at least have a knowledge. Don't get a swimsuit model. Don't get, a hip-hop artist. I just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Brooklyn Decker was terrible. And she's hot. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's absolutely gorgeous. And her aforementioned boobs were great for like 5 seconds. Not nearly enough as advertised. But seriously, anytime she has to emote, it's just not there. It's not there. She's laughable. She made me laugh. And again, after a while, it got on my nerves trying to, watch these people act who aren't actors. But again, I already mentioned that the cynicism inside of me, whenever it would rise up, it would be taken down by, the endearing quality of the veterans acting. It also stars, let's see, have I even said, okay, yeah, Brooklyn Decker, Rihanna, Taylor Kitsch, I guess he was also John Carter from Mars. He does a lot of weird stuff here, especially within like the first 10 minutes. I thought his performance was like downright bizarre, which is, okay, but I don't know, especially right off the bat, it was just kind of weird, and I was just like, what is he doing? Alexander Skarsgård, one of the Skarsgårds, is in there very briefly. Liam Neeson. Let's see, who else is in there? A Japanese actor, which I have recognized. I can't remember his name. He was good here. Who else? I guess it doesn't really matter. A bunch of aliens. His character kind of disappears after a while, or is marginalized, but I'm not sure of his name. He was Christine's brother on The New Adventures of Old Christine. Tall, skinny guy. He's in this. I guess he's the comic relief in a way. He's the inventor of the signal that went to the planet, and he's the brains of the operation, basically. And I guess the comic relief. Though as I sit here now, I have absolutely no memory of what happened to his character. The movie is very loud. The special effects are okay. The alien designs are pretty cool. I guess I thought the aliens were okay. Their suits looked alright. The ships were kind of cool. I liked how they hopped instead of, flew or floated. Whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I guess to talk about 14 minutes about a movie like Battleship is kind of stupid. I don't know what else to say about it. It was very loud. It was monotonous. It was, and repetitive. Like, they even have the same conversations a few times. And it's like, oh, we just had that conversation like 5 minutes ago. Don't you remember it? Don't you have a memory of it? Because I do. It just was not great. And I wouldn't even call it good. But it was loud, it was flashy. It did get me on the edge of my seat every once in a while. The battle scenes are really cool. They do establish some tension there. I guess I haven't mentioned this is a Peter Berg film. He did Friday Night Lights. I tried to remember some boxing movie he did a long time ago. I think it was Samuel L. Jackson. Anyway, a Peter Berg film. It was fine. I guess it was well directed. I mean, I could follow the action at least. You know, whatever. It was okay. Again, I have no problems giving it a 5. I mean, I had a decent time, and there was a lot of endearing qualities, but I did laugh hysterically a number of times, and there was no one else laughing hysterically. So, you know, whatever. So that's Battleship. It's a 5. See it if you want. Later.